Recently I made a video, 50 Shades of Colorism, and now thanks to wonderful YouTube commenters, perhaps including you, dear viewer, no longer do you just have to take it from a pale white lady and her statistics that colorism absolutely exists in many cultures all around the world. I don't know why I'm smiling about it. Cecilia Castle said, I have two sisters, both who are lighter than me, and people would say I was the ugly one because of my skin tone. Purple Canary said, when I moved to Tanzania and updated my Facebook hometown information, the first thing Facebook advertisements targeted toward me was skin lightening beauty products. Diana Gonzalez says, I'm Mexican and my family is all kinds of different shades, from dark brown to really light with blue eyes. I'm darker compared to some of my family members, but was never made to feel less pretty or inferior to my lighter cousins. Later in life is when I became more aware of colorism within my own culture and community, and it was kind of a shock. The latest was when my stepdaughter, who's 5 years old, expressed her disappointment about being chocolate and not vanilla like her mom and older brother. Broke my heart. EMB said, I'm from Mexico and it's amazing how much this happens here. It changes widely from state to state and even from town to town, but in general, most rich families tend to appear whiter and or be closer to their Spanish or European heritage. In ads, they usually use white models or the lightest skinned Mexicans they can find, not to mention the ads in all the media that come from the US in the first place that's filled with light-skinned people. Horia A says, yes, 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 I live in Pakistan and experience colorism a lot. I Wake Up at 6 said, in Japan, and from what I've also heard in China and South Korea, skin lightening products are popular and lighter skin is seen as more attractive, not because it's associated with white people. It might have been affected from a belief in older times when people of higher classes would have lighter skin compared to those in the lower classes who would get tanned, sunburned, etc. by working outdoors. Why Madhouse777 says, I feel like here in the United States, at least in my experience, lighter is not always better. I think our society operates with the beauty standard that perfectly tanned or bronzed skin is more desirable than both ends of the spectrum. I'm a very pale person and people often comment on my skin tone saying that I should get more sun or that I'm just so white. Even my family makes fun of how pale I am. Evangelino1 says, I'm on the lighter end of the mestizos because my father was white, and I can remember mothers would tell their daughters to marry white men so that their children would have lighter skin, or don't stay in the sun to get darker. Madhu Pramad says, even in India, our history is being viewed through colorism. The recent movie Indus Valley Civilization, all the actors are light-skinned and the lead actor even has blue eyes. Jarrell T. Finch says, a great example is Storm in the X-Men movies, the only mainstream black, dark-skinned female superhero, but both of her live-action portrayals have been by mixed ethnicity, i.e. light-skinned women. Lynn Davis said, it's also evident in TV shows starring black families. Just look at the wife and or pretty daughter, and you'll see there are several shades lighter than the rest of the family, because light equals pretty. Caden Kennedy says, as a black teenager, I've always felt that people outside of those closest to me expect less of me because of my skin color. Jared Cadiz said, growing up, all of the African American women that I saw in the media appeared to have lighter skin. Lighter skin, light eyes, and even looser curl patterns were always the ideal standard of beauty. When Lupita Nyong'o, a dark-skinned woman with short, natural hair, was chosen by People magazine as the most beautiful woman that year, it spoke volumes to me. I think the key to feeling beautiful, whether you're light or dark, is confidence and realizing that there's many different types of beauty. Fatima Sharman says, my siblings and I all vary in skin tones. My older brother and sister are 3 to 4 shades darker than me, and my youngest sister is fairly light. She always gets comments from older people within the family about how she's getting too dark and needs to stay the way she is. Whenever I hear someone saying something like that anymore, I always question them and get riled up, which leads my parents to think I'm too argumentative. Jai Chanel says, yes, 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 colorism is another looming topic that needs to be addressed, not just within POC communities. And I also commented on that video asking whether I should do a mini-series diving more deeply into the elements of colorism, because I barely scratched the surface in 50 Shades of Colorism, and people said, yes, please! So keep an eye out for that soon. And thank you so much as always for your comments because they are helpful for us building a community and also building my brain.